New information regarding Making a Murderer, the Netflix hit series that convinced millions of viewers that Stephen Avery was framed in the rape and murder of photographer Teresa Halbach back in 2005. Avery is now serving life in prison, and the show sparked efforts to get him out. But one man is slamming that effort, and the filmmakers, in a new book. Michael Griesbach is a Wisconsin prosecutor who helped exonerate Avery in 2003. He's the author of Indefensible, The Missing Truth About Stephen Avery, Teresa Halbach, and Making a Murderer. Now, Mr. Griesbach makes it clear he is not speaking on behalf of the prosecution or the Innocence Project, where he serves on the board of advisors. So you helped get Stephen Avery out of prison the first time, but you think his second conviction is deserved?
Well, I absolutely do, John. These are two very different cases. One happened in 1985, where there's no question Stephen Avery is wrongly convicted. And in fact, it was one of those cases that wasn't just accidental or a mistake, despite the Attorney General of Wisconsin's view to the contrary. And her conclusion to the contrary, when we took it to the Wisconsin AG for an independent review, this was a question of real police and prosecutor misconduct, at least in my view. That's the old case. The new case in 2005 was the murder of Teresa Halbach, which was primarily, of course, the subject of Making a Murderer. And there's no question in my mind, John, that Stephen Avery is absolutely guilty of that offense.
There was so much made in the documentary of the blood samples that were on file in prosecution custody, and the implication was that they were used somehow in sprinkling his blood in her vehicle. Are you saying that that is not possible or didn't happen?
Well, anything's possible in this world, but all of the evidence is such that that did not happen. There was chemical testing, EDTA testing, to test for the preservative in those blood specimens that were still left from the earlier case. The blood that was found in Teresa Halbach's vehicle, Stephen Avery's blood, no question, Stephen Avery's blood, it did not contain that substance, EDTA, the preservative. Mr. Avery had a cut, remember, to his finger, his right index finger, I believe, which matched where his blood was near the ignition key on Teresa Halbach's RAV4. The police didn't put Mr. Avery's cut on himself. He cut his finger prior to that, and the blood from his finger was on the dash. That's just one piece of evidence in a mountain of evidence, maybe is an overused term, but there truly was a mountain of evidence, not just physical evidence, but circumstantial evidence as well, pointing directly to Stephen Avery for this crime.
Well, it was a well-done documentary, but it was also one-sided. Perhaps viewers might want to check out your book. Again, it's called Indefensible, The Missing Truth About Stephen Avery. Michael Griesbach, thank you.